Okay, Shalom, Baruchim Abayim, B'Shem Hashem Na'aseh V'Natzliach. Our Pesach Shiur will try to cover as much as we can. Okay, first things first, the month of Pesach, the month of Nisan, as we all know, is it says Rosh Chodashim Lachem. Right, this is one of the most important month in the Jewish calendar. That's the month that Hashem took us out of Egypt and He gave us, brought us out, and therefore it has this really, really special importance. Midrash says Rosh Chodesh Nisan has many ketarim. Ketarim are crowns. That was the day that we inaugurated the Mishkan. That was the day that they started bringing the offerings in the Mishkan, and so on and so forth. There is a lot that goes on in the month of Nisan. And besides the month of Nisan, it says in the Halacha, it's brought down that we don't say Tachanun. We don't say Tachanun the whole month. Why? Because, again, in the Midbar, in the desert, the heads of each tribe, every single day, starting in Rosh Chodesh, they brought korbanot. And each day that you bring a korban is a Yom Tov, is a holy day. And so that was the first 12 days, and then the 13th day was like something else. And then you have Pessach, and then Mezat Hashem, like it says in Masechet Rosh Hashanah, that the Beit HaMikdash will be built on Pesach. And when are we going to make an inauguration for the Beit HaMikdash? It'll be right after Pesach. So it's party time. It's a great month, Mezat Hashem, and that is why we don't say Nefilat HaPayim. Nefilat HaPayim for one reason. When a person admits to his sins, it'll bring him depression, he'll be depressed, he'll be sad, and we don't want to bring sadness. But obviously, as you could imagine, there is deeper reasons for not saying Tachanun. Tachanun is Midat Hadin. We don't want to bring Midat Hadin, judgment in this month, and there's no room for it really, because it's a month of joy and happiness. That's why it's right after Adar, right? Month of Adar, you bring, try to increase happiness, and then you have month of Nisan. Also, we do not decree a fast, a public fast for the community. A person could do a fast on their own. Let's say there is a thing that's brought down. It's a good thing for a person to fast on their parents' day of Yortzeit. So they could do it on that in the month of Nisan. That is fine. Ashkenazim, they fast on the day of the wedding. So if an Ashkenazi is getting married in this month, or if a Sephardi wants to be like an Ashkenazi and fast on the day of their wedding, they could actually fast on that day, and that is fine. There's different customs, they read in the first 12 days. The portion of the Torah, a few pesukim of the korban that they brought, it's a nice thing, but I don't think ladies have to do that. They're busy with many other things. One thing that says in the Gemara is that Hayotze b'chodesh Nisan, one who goes out in the month of Nisan, b'mei Nisan actually it says, and he sees trees blossoming, should make a beracha to thank Hashem, right? Baruch atah Hashem l'kolei melech haolam, shelo chiser ba'olamo klum, that there is nothing missing in the world, right? And ubarabo beriyot tovot, nice, good creatures and good trees, so that we should have pleasure. This beracha is for ladies as well. There's no difference, right? We're not saying that, it's time dependent. It's really season dependent. So ladies would definitely, it's a beracha for thanking Hashem for the occasion of the beautiful world and the blossoms. So ladies could do it. You could even make the beracha at night if you can see the flowers. I remember, I say it every year, I think. In Yerushalayim, there is this house near Geula that they have a couple of fruit trees, and they have lights, and the beracha is like, they have a beautiful framed beracha on the side. Whoever passes by could make a beracha. I heard that someone here also has that somewhere in Beverlywood. So it's beautiful. It's an amazing thing. So, but really, it doesn't matter. Is it your tree? Is your neighbor's tree? As long as you can see the blossoms, it's fine. Better that it's two trees. It could be the same trees, 2 lemon trees, 2 orange trees, or whatever it is. It says that people will go out of town to make the beracha, but if it's going to be a waste of time, it's going to take away too much time, No need. We could make a baracha even within the city. You don't. It's not like you have to go even outside. You can see from your window, the window of your home. You could also make the baracha. But you have to make sure that it is a fruit tree. It has to be a fruit tree. It cannot be a non-fruit tree. On that we don't make a baracha, even if the fruit tree is a fruit that has been like an orange, right? An orange is not an original fruit. It's a mixture, and we know it's asur to plant to mix different species of trees, but we didn't do it. Someone else did it. I don't know when it started. You know how you say orange in Hebrew? Tapuz. Tapuz is tapuach zahav because there is no real name for it. It's a golden apple. That's tapuach zahav. There is no real name for it. So it's something that developed later. But still, we could make a baracha on it. If a person doesn't find the two trees, he only finds one fruit tree, you could make a baracha on that as well. As long as you're seeing the blossom, it's good. It's perfectly fine. Okay. What was that? Battery's low. Oh no. Maybe we could plug it in. What's that?
A lot of people want to watch this.
You think? Okay. Can I bother you?
Yeah, sure.
You know where it is? Oh, we're gonna record it. That's fine. It's in the Kollel office.
Okay.
Kollel office. Ask Rabbi Shem Tov.
Okay.
Please. So sorry. Thank you so much. She knows the halachot. We're good. Okay. Now let's move. Further. Any questions so far? Yes.
If the tree has blossomed already, it's still okay?
We're talking about blossoms. If it has fruit, you mean.
It has
If the blossoms fell and it's only fruit, no more bracha. But if it has blossoms, even if some of the fruit is there, some is not, but as long as there is blossoms on the tree and you can see the blossoms, you can make a baracha on it.
But it doesn't have to have fruit, or both?
No. The fruit, we're not looking for fruit. The halacha is you're making a baracha on the blossoms, on the flower.
Of a fruit tree?
Right, of a fruit tree. But if the blossoms already fell and the fruit is budding already, it's too late. It's going to be trouble because we're going to have rain this year, so a lot of the blossoms are going to fall. It's going to be a little bit trouble. The best day to say the baracha is Rosh Chodesh. I'm telling you, if you forget it on Rosh Chodesh, you're not going to make it. It's like, I'll say tomorrow. Before you know it, all the blossoms are gone. Even if the month of Nisan finished, as long as there is a blossom there next month, you could still make a baracha. So my suggestion, if it's not raining this Shabbat, the problem is carrying the siddur. It's fine. If whoever carries using the eruv, then we could go walk over right nearby. This like the Rash's office that has blossoms. I hope still, and make a baracha there. And that's it. Get it done. In the siddurim, there is like 5 pages, literally, of different tefillot. No need. Just the baracha. Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, shelo chiseh ba'olamot kelum, u'bara bo beriyot tovot, lehenot b'hem b'nei adam. That's it. You don't have to say anything else. It's all Kabbalistic for the neshamot, Ilui neshamot. Yes, the month of Nisan is extremely important for neshamot, for the aliyah of neshamot. There's special tefillah that we say every day for the aliyah of different neshamot that are could be wandering around and so on and so forth. But let's keep it simple, right? One baracha, one line, and that's it. We don't need to, go overboard. We shouldn't go overboard. Good. Let's move to the next part. The next part is I'm just going to go in order because we're going to start shopping, or many people already started shopping. We do the best thing for us to do as much shopping of Pesach as possible earlier. Number one, it'll probably be cheaper. Knowing that the stores hike up the prices before Yamim Tovim, if it's not too late. And number two, you could find a lot of kosher Passover products that, trust me, a week before Pesach, their prices are going to go up. So that's number one. A lot of places, they say, oh, it's not kosher for Pesach yet. I mean, give me a break. Fish. What kosher Pesach fish do you need for fish? You know, it's kosher. It's like they don't mix bread in it. Some places, they make kebab. They might put breadcrumbs and stuff. In the meat department, maybe. I don't want to take away from anything. The more we're careful, the better. But a lot of these things we could really, really, really prepare from before. And that's talking about meat and fish, but there's other things, other products that we could buy that are already kosher for Pesach, and why not? The person should do it. Yes.
So meat doesn't need a special shrafa?
Not necessarily, but it's better, again, it's much better to be careful to do it. You think the wire will reach?
I hope so. Is there one on that side?
I don't know.
This was the longest I could get.
It's fine.
I don't know which one's closer.
Let's try it. Maybe I'll move. I think it'll reach, no? Perfect.
I guess it will be hanging.
I'll move.
Okay.
Or? Is it okay we move
Yeah,
the
we
table?
can move the table.
Yeah, so sorry. It's gonna be an interesting video, whoever wants to watch it.
Was it recording until now or no? Yeah?
Yeah. First time we have so much action in this year. Wow. Am I in the camera? Okay, good. Thank you. I am saying actually that even if like butcher shops and all these places, look, what are you afraid of? That there's breadcrumbs mixed in? Really? With the chicken and everything, they wash everything every day. And when they're cutting up the chicken or the meat, there is nothing chametz. Really, is nothing chametz. Maybe like some stores they make kebab and they might mix in breadcrumbs and everything. It's a good thing. Let them clean it up. It's good, but if they're gonna hike up the prices, doesn't justify it. Yes.
And so if we have whole chicken, like it's packaged, whatever, now,
Yeah.
without the symbol, it's fine?
Yeah. Perfectly fine. It's, again, what are we worried about? Wash it. If you're scared, wash it before Pesach, and you're good to go. Now, also we have to, whatever it is that you buy, you should be careful where you're going to store it. Baruch Hashem, b'dei all the kids are running around. They're going to be eating their Cheerios and their crackers, and then all you need is a little piece of crumb that fell in your beans that you want to use for Pesach. That's the last thing we need. So we gotta store them in the proper places, and therefore, and this way, we have nothing to worry about. Now, the custom is, we say for Ashkenazim, they have a custom that began not too long ago, that because they would transfer and package rice with different grains. Many times it would happen that they would find grain in the rice. It was a big issue. So they decided in many different Ashkenazi communities, not to eat rice and or kitniot. That means different legumes, on Pesach. That's the reason. That's where it came from. Not that it's chametz. Not that rice is chametz. In fact, in the Gemara it brings down, one of the Chachamim says you should eat 2 meals on the night of Pesach. And they ask, what's an example? So one said teradin. Teradin or salka. I'm sorry, salka is spinach. It's a special food that we make with spinach. And he said urza. Urza is orez. That's rice. That was like the recommended menu for the night of Pesach. Already at the time of the Gemara. And one of the Chachamim says, that's what I make sure to eat every Pesach, spinach and rice, because my Rebbe gave those examples. Not that, you have to eat it, but because his Rebbe gave those examples, that's what he chose to eat. Why are we bringing this? Because it's not chametz. Not only that it's not chametz. Wait a minute, but when you put it in the water, it starts expanding. So, wait a minute, this is chametz. This is rising. Gemara calls it different. It says it's not chimutz, it's sirachon. Chimutz is like fermentation. Sirachon is spoilage. What's the difference? Scientifically they say wheat and barley and the spelt and these guys, they have 4 different enzymes. One of those enzymes is missing in the rice. And that's what sirachon is, and that's the difference between the sirachon and chimutz. Anyway, Sephardim, most Sephardim I should say, eat rice on Pesach, provided you check it well to make sure. So the custom is to check it 3 times, so just to make sure that there is nothing mixed in there. Remember, you're looking for wheat, barley, or spelt, or rye. You're not looking for something else, right? If a rice has got the little discoloration, as long as it's not a bug, you're okay, right? They just forgot to scrape the stuff off of it. That's all. That doesn't make it chametz. We're actually looking for grain of chametz. That is what we're looking for. The custom is to do it 3 times. And again, be careful not to have the little cutie pies walking around with the sandwiches while you're checking the rice. That's for sure. So the idea is people say, oh, I gotta check 3 times. Okay, let's see. They go through it express. No, we gotta make sure it's done properly. And this way, I haven't ever seen wheat or any grain in the rice. But okay, let's be nice to Pesach and do it. This is. But you should know, some Sephardim also have this custom that they don't eat rice because of this. Because in the areas that they were, they were afraid that maybe I'm not going to check it well enough, and so on and so forth, and they accepted this custom. Now, if a person did it because they were mahmir, they were stringent, that I'm afraid I'm not going to check it so well, and now they decide, we're starving, we better have some rice. Rabbi, give us rice, allow me to have rice. So what do? Okay, you have to make hatarat nadarim because you accepted this upon yourself as a stringency. But if a person did it because that's what they used to do in their parents' home, nothing, then they get married and they decide, I want to change my custom. Not because I was stringent, I was just doing it. So then you don't even have to do hatarat nadarim. You could even have rice without hatarat nadarim in that case. There are some communities that don't eat beans. There are some communities that don't eat which type of bean? Kidney beans, I think. I think kidney beans they don't eat. Some communities don't eat chickpeas because it's called hummus, and hummus is close to chametz. Okay, we can't have. Okay, fine. That's as far as these type of things. A person wants to make cookies with kosher for Passover flour. I'm not talking about matzah meal. I'm not talking about matzah. Yeah, he buys kosher for Passover flour and he wants to make cookies. We Sephardim, we do that if you don't mix water in it. If you mix water in it, then you better do it within less than 18 minutes because it's going to become like dough, like chametz, like matzah. I'm sorry. So then you have to be very careful. But if you only use pure apple juice, a lot of the apple juice out there is water. Orange juice, apple juice, if it's from concentrate, which is so that's out. Or they use wine, right? So I'm sure everyone has heard about this whole controversy. Every year they come out, they send out emails, this, that, about papushado cookies and what's the other one? Catenio. Cookies that Rabbi always used to scream, they're fine, I checked it myself, I know, they don't even wash. Did you know that he writes, they don't even wash the machinery with water. Because what if you don't dry it well? There's 1 drop of water, that 1 drop of water could cause the whole thing to become chametz much faster. What do they wash it with? They wash it with wine. So, in Tel Aviv, there was a big fight 80 years ago, I think, maybe less, 70 years ago, about these cookies, because the Ashkenazi chief rabbi there, Unterman, was a huge Tanei Chacham. He said, no, I don't give a hechsher on these cookies because Ashkenazim might want to buy it, and for them it is asur. They don't allow people to eat it unless the person is old or a young child, otherwise they don't allow it. And he says, I'm afraid that they're going to buy it. So Rabbi says, please, Rabbi, if fine, so we'll put up a sign that the Ashkenazi community should not eat it, rightfully so. And he agreed. And the agreement, that's what went on. But every year there's, I'm sure some of you, hear it and see it, and there always a fight. I don't know what the status is now that Rav Ovadia Zichron Lebracha is not a Rab. That I can't tell you. I don't even know. I'm not there to know. But this I know. When we were living in Eretz Yisrael, this was this was known. I heard Rav Ovadia himself talk about it, say it. So that I could tell you. More than that, I don't know. So whatever it is, you can mix it with wine, pure honey, and so on and so forth. For Sephardim, it is a custom to do it. Now, question comes up: what if are you allowed to use matzah meal? Matzah meal is matzah that is crushed into a flour. Can you use that to bake cake or cookies or whatnot? Maybe it looks like flour, and you might come and use flour, and then the answer is no problem. No problem. You don't have to worry about it. And matzah meal, by the way, will never rise because once it's baked, all the enzymes are killed, and nothing will happen. So that's why, hence, you have to use so many eggs to make it puff. Otherwise, it just go flat. That's as far as these sort of things. If you want to buy like dry fruit, like almonds, what else? Walnuts, all these things. It's not a problem. If it's raw, if it's absolutely raw, then there's no problem, right? Some things, some dry fruit, in order that, because they needed to have an extended shelf life for these things, sometimes they might put dextrose, which is a wheat derivative, or wheat actually, in between them so they won't get stuck together, they won't cake together. They put these things to dry them, or different starches. That we should be careful. That they're kasher to Pessach. Otherwise, if you know that they don't have such a thing, it's like totally natural and there's nothing, none of these things are added to it, then it should be fine. That we should check and make sure that this is something that we should be afraid of. That's all. Like apricots, dates, raisins. Raisins, they put also some oils on them so they won't dry up. That might contain some other chemicals that might be problematic. Again, if it's totally, absolutely they don't add, that they haven't done anything to it, then it's not a problem whatsoever. The big question is medication. Medication, the halacha is someone who is chas v'shalom sick. There's no sakana, but they're sick enough that they have to be in bed. They're sick enough that they have to be in bed, choleh shenafal lemishkav. Then for sure they could take any medication without kosher supervision, without the kosher Pessach supervision, unless there is a flavoring in it, like a syrup or different things that have flavoring in it. Then we have a problem because those things might contain chametz, and these days, Baruch Hashem, there is a list that they give out, that list a lot of the medications that are under supervision that are okay for Pesach, and a person should ask for those prescriptions for Pesach. Yes.
What about for kids? Most of Tylenol and Advil, it's all
right.
flavored.
That's an issue. So we have to look for the ones that are okay. Best always puts it out. I have it at home. So, yeah.
Do vitamins need a hechsher?
Vitamins, if there is no taste, they don't need a hechsher. If they have any flavoring, yes. That's year round also. Then Baruch Hashem, now there's more and more kosher vitamins that are out there. Again, vitamins that have no flavoring, and there's organic. You check out the ingredients and you see there's a lot of prenatals that they're out there. They're fine. Actually, this week I sent an email to Rav Bess about something that I didn't know what, someone asked me, and he said it's fine. Okay, and that's as far as the thing. Again, even if the person is not in sakana, is not in danger, they could go ahead and take these medications unless there is a flavor.
What if they're not in sakana and it's not bad enough to be in bed, but their allergies are really active? So
it depends how bad the allergies are. If the allergy is really getting them, they have a hard time focusing and everything. For sure, that would be a chodesh shenafel lemishkav already.
Equivalent to being
they could
in
barely
bed.
right. They could barely function. Allergies could really. There's a lot of details, as you could imagine, in halachot of Pesach, especially in the kashrut of the halachot of Pesach and so on and so forth. We're just going to touch on some things that would be more applicable. First of all, to kasher, to make, that's a Yiddish word for to make kasher, right? Different vessels, different utensils and appliances. So anything that we use throughout the year, right? And you want to use it for Pesach, you could, right? But it has to go through a process. Process is the process that depends on the usage of that vessel. That means the same way, just like the Torah says, "Haba ba'esh yavo ba'esh." Whatever goes through the fire, you gotta bring it through the fire. Haba b'mayim, whatever goes through the water, you gotta use water. What does that mean? That means something that is used by the usage of it is direct fire without the intervention of any liquid. Then you extract what was absorbed in it through fire, like skewers of kebab, or the cake pans. You barely use liquid there, just this little spray of oil, and that's it. And then you put the cake in it. These sort of things, the only way to get the chametz, what was absorbed in it, is through fire. What does that mean through fire? Not just like, to be nice, you pass it through fire. You need to put it in the fire, and it gets so hot that it turns red. That will burn what was absorbed into this vessel. That's the way to do it. That's called libun. Some things, you don't keep there so much. Now, what's with these skewers? Because you make kebab, ground meat, you put breadcrumbs in it, or bread, or whatever it is, and then you make a kebab. So that bread taste got absorbed into the metal through direct fire, without the intervention of any liquid. But a pot that you make choresh in, right? Okay, choresh is not chametz. A pot that you make cholent in, you have barley in it, or barley soup. How do you make that kosher for Pesach? By, first of all, cleaning it really well, making sure there's nothing on it, and then you bring a pot of water to boil, and you dip that pot into this pot. That hot boiling water will extract whatever was absorbed into this pot. And if your pot is too big, then just fill it with water all the way, and let it boil all over your stove, and get it all wet and then you have a pot which is kosher. Alternatively, you could buy a new one. Yeah.
What's another example of something that you kosher with fire besides for skewers?
There are some pans that you use them to stir fry, like very minimal. Like Chinese food stuff, like a wok. That would be a good example.
Nothing really else, right?
No. Yeah, you're right. Nothing. I can't think of anything else.
Piercing the trays, like if you bake something in the oven.
Oh,
the tray.
Chazak Baruch. Yes. Right. Cookie sheets. Cooking trays. Yeah. Very good. Perfect. So that's exactly the same thing as the pans for the cake, pretty much. So I don't think anyone would want to use those for Pesach. That's for sure. So therefore these sort of things, like you gotta see what the usage is, and make them kosher for Pesach accordingly.
I have a question.
Yes.
What about like glass?
Oh, we're gonna get to glass. Let's go step by step. What about your oven? What do we do with the oven? The oven, really, what we need to do is to make sure you clean it inside well. On the door, on the gasket, in the corners, and the racks. You need to get all the corners, make sure there's nothing there. You clean it with the cleaning agents, sprays, and everything. And then what you do is you put it either on self-clean or the highest temperature. Either way works. And this way you make, and also don't use it. First of all, don't use it for 24 hours. This way, whatever is there is what the Gemara calls is pagum. That means even if there's something there, this thing after 24 hours passes, it's not edible anymore. That's number one. Then you go, you put it through the grill, you put through the torture of cleaning it, and then you burn everything off. Why? Because you don't use the walls of the oven to cook, right? It's just the heat that comes in, cooks whatever food is in the rack or in the pot. So it never absorbed actual food unless it spilled or it fell, something like that. Otherwise, we're good to go. So we try to just zap it and burn it like that, and then we're fine. Yes.
How long do you turn the highest temperature?
I would say for 1 hour is good enough. Like 500, I think the highest temperature would be 500. For 1 hour, definitely will burn anything off. And you could also put the grates, if you can do that. Make sure you scrub it good. And you put that also in the oven. If you could, some of these guys they have like rubber or plastic parts to them. So forget it. We're gonna get to what to do with that. How about an urn? What do we do with an urn? An urn, the usage of an urn is usually just water. You don't use it for anything else. And water, as far as we know, is not chametz. So the same urn that you use throughout the year, you could use it for Pessach. No problem. Just clean it inside and out. Because something might have splashed on it, whatever it is. After all, it's in the kitchen. So inside and out, it should be cleaned well. If you want to get that white stuff off, use citric acid, and that'll get all that stuff off. And then you're good to go. Now, some people would like to toast or heat their pita from the freezer on top of the urn. Then the urn is okay. It's just the cover. The cover might be the thing. So pour some boiling water on the cover, and you're good to go. That's what we should do. Knives, although you put pressure on knives and everything, if it's clean, make sure it's clean totally. You could do hagala on knives, and that'll do it. Now the grates, if you cannot put them in the oven, what's the problem with grates? The grates, what do? We put the pot on it, so you don't eat off of it, and there is no food on it. Sometimes it's possible that your barley soup spilled on it, or for that matter, for the stove top, the same thing. Now, the glass stovetops, those are tough. As far as kashrut, what to do, how to clean it, because on the one hand, it's glass. Glass doesn't absorb. I don't know. I really don't know what to say about those halachot. Or worse than that, the induction heating elements. That's a whole new thing. I personally don't know. We should look into it. What to do with them. I don't know what to do with them on Shabbat. Anyone know how the induction things work? Induction, when you bring a metal pot near it, the heat goes up. And it gives an intense heat. It cooks the food, and it's like a third of the time that it takes in the conventional stoves. And again, I don't know. But as far as the grates, let's go back to the normal stoves, the grates, we need to make sure you clean up the whole surface very well with soap and everything, and then you do hagala. That means dip it into the pot. If that's very hard to do, just pour boiling hot water over them, and you're good. Some people like to cover them with aluminum foil. It looks nice. It looks like a brand new grate. They could do it. What about the plata? The Shabbat plata that we have? Would you like to use? If you'd like to use it for Pesach, make sure clean it, scrub it real well, because many times food does spill on the plata. And then what you do is you pour boiling hot water over it, and you're good. Alternatively, you could buy another one for Pesach. Now, how about a frying pan? Frying pan is something in between. Why? You don't use water, you use oil. And you don't use a lot of oil, you use a little bit of oil. Unless you're making French fries. Who could make French fries with a little bit of oil? You want to be deep fried. There you use plenty, and then hagala will work. For us Sephardim, we hold that even though you don't use that much oil, a person could do hagala with a frying pan, right? Unless it's got Teflon. If it has Teflon, then we have an issue because the whatever it is, the chametz or whatever it is, it got absorbed, and we don't know how much it went under the coating of the Teflon. How are you going to get it out? Hard to know, hard to tell. So I'm talking about regular frying pans, stainless steel, aluminum, cast iron. These guys, that we could do. For us, Sephardim, let's say you decide tomorrow, I have my the one I fried schnitzel in last week. I want to make grilled cheese in it. Yeah, do hagala, you could do it. Back and forth. A lot of Ashkenazi poskim say don't do it because you're gonna get confused, right? You're gonna get dizzy. Okay, this week it was meat. Next week is dairy. Yeah, it's not gonna work. But practically, or I shouldn't say practically, halachically, that's fine. It says that a person should wash things that he does hagala with water. Why? Because in the Beit HaMikdash, when they would do hagala, that's what they would do. They would pour cold water on it to wash it off, as a remembrance of that. How about glass? Glass, it says in Pirkei, in Avodah Rabbi Natan, I think, it says over there that glass neither absorbs or gives off anything. Nothing. Why? Because glass is totally flush. There's nothing goes in, nothing comes out. And because of that, glass, you use the glass, to bake something, chametz, cake. You want to use it for Pessach, just make sure it's very clean, you can use it for Pesach. If the person wants to be machmir, they could fill it with water for 24 hours, throw out the water, and then again fill it with water for 24 hours, throw out the water, and then fill it again for 24 hours, 3 times, fine. But really, you don't have to. There's no need, because it's glass. Glass doesn't absorb anything. Yeah.
So all you do is just clean it.
Clean it well. There's no residue. You're fine. Yeah.
That includes Pyrex?
Pyrex is the same. Pyrex is glass. Same halacha applies. Okay. Dentures, right? We gotta clean them real well. There's nothing in there. There's no chametz stuck in between. Better if a person knows that it's not going to get ruined to do hagala, meaning not hagala, I'm sorry, to pour boiling water over them, and that'll clean it well. I'm sorry. Same thing. We need to make sure that it's very, very clean, like to brush it really good, and then pour on it. Night guards, the truth is, you don't even have to do that, because night guards you don't use it at all with food. And for that, there is no worry. Just make sure, sometimes there might be something, just brush it well. You don't have to do hagala at all. That doesn't need hagala. I was thinking of braces. Toothbrushes, I would change it.
Just get new toothbrush.
I would say so, yeah. Just in case there is something left. Unless you know that it's totally clean, really, halachically. If you know it's totally and absolutely clean. Then anyway, they say, what, every 6 months? I don't know how many... Baruch Hashem for Pesach. Things that we normally use for cold things. Let's say your kiddush cup. And you never put anything hot in it. All you have to do is just wash it. Right? That's all you need to do. Even if, let's say you have a cup that sometimes you use for chametz, hot chametz. I don't know. Coffee blend that contains wheat, hot coffee. Even that, you don't have to. You just rinse it off. That's fine.
Does it matter what?
I'm not talking about glass even. What?
Does it matter what the material of the cup is?
No, it's the rov tashmishu. That means most of its usage is for cold, so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
But if we wash it with the hot water, if we use it for cold, but we use the sponge that is
Very good.
used for the whole year, and we wash with the hot water,
That's fine.
it's fine.
Yeah, that's also fine because you didn't cook chametz with it. You went into the water, and that water is not only chametz. There's so many other things. There's soap, and there's other things. Not to worry. If a person wants to be machmir, again, we're just going to stick to the halakha. If a person wants to be machmir, please, yeah, for sure. The many wives, things that their husbands that are learning yeshiva, they're like goyim because they come home and say, no, it's fine, it's okay. They say, Baba, you don't know nothing. He doesn't know halakha, he goes to yeshiva, he doesn't know. But reality is, this is halakha. But if a person wants to be stringent, wants to be machmir, wants to, it's fine, just as long as you know you're being machmir, right? That's fine. At home, we don't, we don't go with this, for a lot of the things. But this is the halakha. We have to know the halakha. We cannot be machmir for everybody else. First, let's see what the halakha is. If it's something made out of clay, forget it. There's nothing you could do with it. Right? Something like a mug, coffee mug, and these sort of things. There's nothing we could do because it only absorbs and it doesn't even give off. So there's nothing we could do as far as something which is clay. What do we do with a porcelain sink? Those homes that don't have a stainless steel yet, what do we do with that? The best thing to do with those guys is to pour Ajax, right, and scrub it real clean. Make sure all the areas is totally, absolutely, clean, very well. Then you dry it, right? After you wash it, dry it. Make sure it's absolutely dry. Then you bring water to boil, and you start from the center, the bottom, right? And you work your way out, right? You encircle the motion, you work your way out. This is you doing Haggalah. Why am I saying this? Because when you pour water from the top, right, that water that's going from the top is gonna get cool as it's traveling to the center of the sink. And then when you pour water over that water which is already there, and by the time your boiling water gets to there, it's gonna cool it off. You're not doing Haggalah, really. So you start from the center, good. That center is kosher, you just move your way out, you work your way out. Some people say better to do it 3 times. Okay, fine. But if it's stainless steel, then just once, to do this that we just said, clean it real well, and that's it. Okay, that's
So
as far as the
it's not
singing.
necessarily that they saying putting
To put something inside, no need.
Porcelain.
Yeah, if you want to do it, you could. But if a person doesn't want to do it, this will take care of it. According to everybody.
So then you could kosher a porcelain sink.
Yeah, this is for sure. If you could do it for Pessach, then for sure, you move into a new house and it's a porcelain sink. This could be done. Tables. If a person eats off on the table without a tablecloth, then make sure you gotta clean it well. You don't have to make the table kosher, pour boiling water over the table, right? Some people do. They want to kosher the table, they do that, they put boiling water over it. But if you're afraid that it's going to get ruined, these days they're all fake, they're all plastic, they're all going to start bubbling and everything. So what do? Clean it as much as you can, put a tablecloth, make sure you don't remove the tablecloth, and that's it. And the tablecloths, what do? Wash them with hot water in the washing machine, whatever it is. I think, did we cover everything in the kitchen? Yes.
Even for a wood table, I never put food on it, but as long as I clean it well and I cover it, it's okay.
Yes, 100%.
We don't have to move the table.
No, as long as you make sure it's clean and you cover it, you're perfectly fine. Oh, the counter. What do you do with the counter? Right? Counter. Again, the same thing as the sink. Make sure it's spotless clean, pour hot water all over your counter, and you're good to go. Some people, you heard this iron thing, steam iron. And not all the poskim are comfortable with that. It doesn't reach that type of temperature. It's not water. It's a lot of controversy over that. Just good old boiling water. Yeah.
What about a baby plastic high chair? Does it matter or?
Oh, thank you. So baby plastic high chair, we need to first of all, do they still come with covers on the seats?
Not really. See, mine doesn't.
So those used to be troublesome. You stick all the Cheerios and all the things underneath. If you don't have that, just make sure all the little the crevices are really nice and clean and good. That's fine. And then the tray. Many people. The reality is you don't put food which is extremely hot on that thing because the baby's chasron is going to get burned. You usually put something that is less hot. So for that, the best thing to do is clean it real well with a lot of soap and everything, and then you're fine. Reality is you're fine. Some people they say you should do Haggalah on that poor thing. If you know it's not going to ruin it, then you could. I know some people that are machmir, they even buy a new tray. That could be done. You order the part and you have it the next day. But halachically, clean it well underneath also, because they stick their hands underneath. Remember, it's like, you get cereals, all the good stuff, better to make sure, because what are we afraid of? Because you might want to lift it off, and then your hand suddenly you see, oh, I have something on my hand, and that might be chametz in Pesach. It's not good. It's not a pretty sight. Yes.
So for the countertops, you could just pour boiling water, you don't need a cover, and it's for what about tiled countertops?
Same.
Okay,
Same. Just make sure, tiles, they have the grouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just got to clean all the grout, everything, all over, real well, dry it, and then pour the water. Drying it, because again, the same idea. Once, if it's not dry, if it's still wet, and you pour boiling water on it, then we're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
What about a coffee machine or a milk frother?
Coffee machine. If it's a one of these K-cups, you mean the ones that have take these little ones, or the one with the filter and you put it in? The filter one, the K-cups, some of them might contain chametz, depends on the blend. Then you need, I don't know how that would be done. Unless there is a way to, is there a way to run it just with water?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Nespresso one. You can run it. You can put it on like fleeting mode or something.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But it's plastic, the machine, so you can turn it on.
That's tough, because it might, even if it's not self-clean or things like that, it might leave some residue. I'm not sure. I can't tell you. I'm not sure how that will work. I'm not familiar with it. Sorry. Yes.
For the kitchen cabinets, the ones that we want to use for Pessach.
Right.
Do we have to put new linings, cover them first, and then put the stuff in there, or as long as you clean it well?
As long as you clean it well, there is no chametz there, you're fine. It's all of them.
Like the whole year, I don't put any chametz in it, just my dishes. So as long as you clean it well, you
Yeah.
put it in there.
Yeah. There's no problem. You could use it. Some people, it gives you like a good feeling, like, Pesach is coming, and let me put like the liners and everything. Fine, perfect. Like, why not give it a new look and everything? It's perfectly fine. But otherwise, in reality, like, we have to be practical. The biggest mistake is that we think that dust is chametz, right? A lot of people think that, like, and it really puts pressure on the wife for sure, and the poor husband is like, avadim hayinu, and then the kids, and the wives get upset and they get angry, and rightfully so. They're under a lot of pressure. I know someone that they would play music while they were cleaning for Pesach. Why not? To be in a great mood, and everything. And that's the idea, really. You should see. I was reading a sefer. It was a halacha sefer about cleaning for Pesach and everything. It gave 4 or 5 pages of musar that we shouldn't get angry while we were cleaning for Pesach. And I was like, wow, this is interesting. It's a halacha sefer, but it's giving you musar, like, don't get angry, don't get upset, this, and it's so true. Some people get sick, by the time Pesach comes, they're sick. They can't sit at the Seder table. All the work is a chaval, is gone.
How about dishwasher?
Thank you. Okay.
Because some people, they say, oh, we are not using it. Some people, they say, oh, it's okay.
There's different opinions when it comes to the dishwasher. Why? Because according to some poskim, especially Ashkenazi poskim, they're very machmer on dishwashers. And they said, no, you cannot. It's impossible to make it kosher. We go like Rav Ovadia. This shiur is like Rav Ovadia. Rav Ovadia says, for many reasons, he writes, there's pages written on this. In a dishwasher, I could give you a lot of leniencies with dishwasher. I won't. But on a simple thing, let's, open it up. Like, take out the racks. Look around. If it's, first, make sure it's totally clean. The tub, it's a tub, right? Make sure the tub is totally clean. And then look at the racks. If the racks look healthy, there's no cracks, right? There's no cracks on them. That means there's no food that got stuck inside. Then what you do is put the racks back in. turn it on the highest temperature, put soap, run it on the highest temperature, and you're fine. Make sure you clean the filter. There's no residue in the filter. That's it. If the person wants to use it, this is with this halachically they're allowed to use it. Other opinions say no, but this is what the Rav Ovadia Zecher Tzadik Livracha said, and that's it.
Does it matter what material it's made out of?
Even if it's plastic, even if it's metal wires with the rubber cover, on it. But again, you gotta make sure that it's healthy, because if there's a crack or there's a tear in it, then the food, chametz, might have seeped in there, then we're in trouble. Because what if the chametz will come out during the next cycle of dishwasher, on Pessach, even there, but no, then one shouldn't do it. They could buy new racks. Keep the dishwasher, buy 2 new racks for Pesach, use them for Pesach, after Pesach, put them away for next year.
As far as the countertops, and you said it's the same as the sink, so do you have to pour water on it 3 times or once?
No, once is enough. This is a big chumrah for the sink, because really the truth is on the countertop, it's not a pot. Countertop is used to work on, cold. Sometimes you might put a hot pot on it. Sometimes, who knows, maybe something spilled once in a blue. Nothing to worry. Yes?
Does the sink have to not be used for 24 hours before koshering?
It's impossible to say. It shouldn't be used for chametz for 24 hours. It could be used for 24 hours. It could be used, but not to use it for chametz for 24 hours. That's the idea. Okay, I think we covered a lot. I hope. Beline there. Next time we should talk about already Pesach preparations for Pesach. Not the cleaning. The cleaning, I think we're done. Like Bedikat Chametz, Erev Pesach, and the Seder. Okay, that's it.